Hello, my name is Steve.
And I'm David.
And this is Weekly Ranma. Today we are talking about episode 20 of the remake of Ranma 1/2. Episode starts off with a mysterious character challenging Genma Saotome, and then promptly whooping his ass. What we find out is that this mysterious person could potentially be an illegitimate child of Mr. Saotome's, as Akane saw part of the incident. Next day at school, they come to find that it is not an illegitimate child, but it is none other than Ranma's childhood friend and new transfer student to Furinkan High, Ukyo Kawanji. Ukyo is not as happy to see Ranma as Ranma is to see Ukyo. And Ranma can't understand why, because last time they saw each other when they were 5, Ranma didn't understand the entire situation that his father had unleashed. Ukyo challenges Ranma to a battle. Man-to-man battle, if you will. And the ring is a combination wrestling ring / teppanyaki grill, as Ukyo comes from a family of okonomiyaki chefs and prides themselves on the quality of their okonomiyaki. The battle commences. As the battle commences, Akane is pressing Mr. Saotome for a little bit of the background as to what the hell Ukyo's problem is, and what Ukyo keeps referencing that Genma is avoiding. The fight leaves the strange battlegrounds and heads away from the prying eyes of the public, and Ranma discovers an interesting truth about Ukyo. Much to what he's believed the past 10 years, Ukyo's a girl.
Because he found boobs.
And the entire reasoning for Ukyo's severe anger and hatred towards Ranma is that Genma had made an agreement with Ukyo's father to wed Ukyo to Ranma because the family's okonomiyaki cart was going to be given to him as a dowry. So, given Ranma a choice, but a very vague choice that a 5-year-old has no way of contextualizing, Genma says that it was Ranma's responsibility for the decision. And when he asked Ranma who he loves more, Ukyo or okonomiyaki, Ranma, being a child who thinks with his stomach, chose okonomiyaki, which Genma uses as justification as why he stole the cart and left Ukyo behind when he was supposed to bring Ukyo with him. So now this young child who now can never get married because they were abandoned by their fiancé and the fiancé's family has devoted the rest of her life since then to becoming the best okonomiyaki combatant we've ever seen. So now we have this quandary, which Genma justifies by Ranma at this point already was betrothed to one of the Tendo daughters. So the act of betrothing him to Ukyo Kawanji was null and void, regardless of the fact that he ran off with the okonomiyaki card. That's pretty much where we leave off. Ukyo is kind of letting bygones be bygones, only because Ranma told her that she's cute. And,
much to Akane's chagrin.
Well, because Ranma's always calling her ugly. So now we have the introduction of, I think, my favorite character in all of Ranma.
I liked her a lot as a character.
Yeah, she's a fun character.
Made me really, really, really want okonomiyaki.
So the first episode of Ranma I ever watched, I think it was like 95, was this episode of the original series, the introduction of Ukyo.
How did the rose-tinted glasses hold up?
This episode played out pretty much exactly how the original version of the anime played out as well. There really was no difference. But, over the years, I've always enjoyed Ukyo as a character within the story. So that
Genma's a bastard.
Yeah, Genma's not the worst father in anime, but he's a pretty terrible father.
Oh, I know who holds the title of worst father in anime.
Who would that be?
What's his face from Evangelion?
Really? Even more so than the father who tuned his daughter and their pet dog together in
Dude, look, I try to forget that all the time.
What was his name?
I try to forget that part of Fullmetal Alchemist.
Sho Tucker. Genma's no Sho Tucker.
Fair.
Genma's also no Gendo Ikari.
Also fair.
But between Sho Tucker and Gendo Ikari, who do you think is the worst of those?
Gendo does force his son to get into basically the equivalent of his mother.
There's a lot of problems there. Okay, we'll go with Gendo. Out of those two anyways.
Anyway.
So now we have Ukyo.
Also, Genma avoiding the questions. Adorable.
When he kept changing into panda
the tire, and then with ball, and then Akane's finally like, I'm just going to sell you to the circus or the zoo. One of the two. She said he was going to sell him to somewhere.
Yeah, to a zoo.
And he's just sitting there going, I'm just a cute little panda. You can't be mad at me.
Good times, good times.
So he's quick on the draw on those signs too.
I don't understand how the Tendo family can afford their property. None of them work. They run a dojo, but from everything we've seen, they have no paying students.
Yeah.
The only person who has any amount of employment is actually Genma, because he has worked for Dr. Tofu.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Son doesn't have a job. Kasumi runs the household. Everyone else is a high school student. How can they afford such a palatial estate in 1980s Tokyo?
Old money.
The anything goes martial arts was not passed down in generations of the Tendo family. It's something that Tendo and Saotome learned from Happosai.
Doesn't mean that it's money from martial arts.
I know, but
Tendos.
You'd think, that this long line of like artisans of sorts, I guess you could say. The only thing I can think of is Mrs. Tendo, her family. Maybe her family. Maybe all the money came from her family.
Maybe.
And that's never been addressed in the anime. I don't know if it's ever been addressed in the manga. Probably not.
I don't think anybody really thinks about the...
People think about this shit. Trust me.
Oh, okay.
If people think about what would happen if Ranma got pregnant in girl type form, people definitely wonder how the hell can they afford this size of a house and property in late 80s economic bubble Tokyo.
People think about what happened if Ranma got pregnant?
Yes, they do.
Oh.
Have for a long time. It's as old as internet chat boards, pretty much.
I hate Rule 34.
Anybody that's read all the manga, do we get more information about Mrs. Tendo? How did she die? What was her situation? Let me know.
What about Mrs. Saotome?
Well, if the show goes on long enough, we should see her. Which I would love to see, because she was a great character in the original anime. Even though she didn't show up until the very end of it.
Damn.
We've talked about this before. She hates Genma.
That's right.
For very specific reasons. Very understandable reasons.
What it happened to do with
the way he treats his son? Yeah.
Physically abusing their son on a regular basis.
And like abandoning their marriage?
Yes.
100%.
It's very hard to deduce.
Yeah.
Otherwise, great episode.
It was a fun episode. I'm glad Ukyo's in it. I'm glad we didn't have to wait to a third season.
Made me very hungry for okonomiyaki.
Hell yeah. It's been a long time since I've had any okonomiyaki.
Anything else?
I suspect Ryoga next week, but I don't know.
Channeling Ryoga?
Channeling Ryoga next week. Because interactions between Ryoga and Ukyo are amusing.
Excited. Mainly because Ryoga's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah. He's a good character. A fun character. Not a good character. He's fun.
I also like Pichon. Like a lot.
How can you not like Pichon? You know what's great, though, is spiking him like a football.
I also just missed a little...
All right. Well, thanks for watching. Again, for those that have read the manga, do we find out more information about Mrs. Tendo in the manga? I'm really curious.
Or whether Soen's like...
a drug dealer? I don't know.
Laundering money.
Right.
Mattresses full of money stuffed into the walls.
Yeah. Who knows? He's moving stolen antiques or something.
Shuttles bodies.
Don't forget to check out the Wednesday episodes of the podcast Anime Plus, where currently we are working our way through Gundam's Universal Century storyline. This week we wrapped up the Amuro versus Char
storyline.
Bromance with Char's counterattack. And
Romance
next week we'll be diving into a fresh new story without these two morons with Gundam Unicorn. Thanks again. We'll check you guys next time.